Have you ever stopped to think that some of the most powerful exercises to transform your body don't require machines, weights, or even repetitive movements? That's right. There's a simple, ancient, and at the same time incredibly effective stance that can change how you feel, and even how you age. I'm talking about the horse stance, also known as horse stance. At first glance, it looks like someone just standing still with bent knees, resembling the posture of someone riding a horse. But this simplicity hides extraordinary power. This stance has been used for centuries in Chinese martial arts as a foundation for developing not only physical strength, but also mental stability and vital energy. What was once a warrior's secret is now recognized by modern science as a valuable tool for health, longevity, and performance. And you know what the best part is? Unlike long and exhausting workouts, the horse stance can be done anywhere, by anyone, in just a few minutes a day. It doesn't matter if you're 50, 60, or even over 70, your body can still respond amazingly to this stimulus. Muscle strength without impact. When we talk about strength, many people think of lifting dumbbells, doing barbell squats, or running miles to build endurance. But the horse stance shows that true strength can be built in silence, without explosive movements and without overloading your joints. By getting into this position, feet apart, knees bent at about 90 degrees, and torso upright, the entire body is activated. The quadriceps, the front of the thighs, are intensely engaged, supporting your body weight. The hamstrings, the back of the legs, work together to balance the tension. The glutes, which are often asleep due to a sedentary lifestyle, are activated as true engines of stability. But it doesn't stop there. Even the calves, muscles often neglected by many, are engaged to help distribute the weight evenly. It's as if your entire lower body is connected to a silent power plant, generating energy and strength with every second you hold the stance. And the most impressive part, all of this happens without repetitive impact. In other words, you strengthen your legs and hips without harming your knees and hips, which often already suffer from arthritis or wear and tear after 50. Endurance and energy for everyday life. Now let's talk about a crucial point: muscular endurance. When you hold the horse stance for 30 seconds, 1 minute, or longer, you're training your body to withstand tension over time. This is a type of conditioning known as isometric, where the muscle works without moving. This type of training is powerful because it increases your tolerance to lactate, that substance many people associate with the burn in their muscles. Instead of being an enemy, lactate can actually be used as a source of energy when your body learns to manage it better. And that's exactly what the horse stance teaches your muscles, to turn discomfort into fuel. The result? You gain more stamina to climb stairs, walk long distances, carry heavy bags, or simply get through the day with more energy, without feeling that excessive fatigue in your legs. Additionally, training this way stimulates the production of mitochondria, which are the energy plants inside your cells. The more active mitochondria you have, the more energy your whole body has available. In other words, something as simple as standing still for a few minutes can literally increase your daily vitality, independence, and longevity. Perhaps one of the greatest hidden benefits of this stance lies in what it helps preserve: your independence. After the age of 50, what most threatens quality of life isn't just the loss of muscle mass, sarcopenia, but also the loss of autonomy. Think about simple situations: getting up from a chair without using your hands, walking steadily on a slippery floor, carrying grocery bags, or even playing with your grandchildren without fear of falling. All of this depends largely on the strength and endurance of your legs. The horse stance strengthens exactly the muscles you need for these everyday tasks. And the stronger and more resilient your legs are, the lower your risk of falls, the greater your stability, and the longer you'll keep living in an active, confident, and independent way. Science on your side. And if you're thinking this sounds too good to be true, know that science has already confirmed many of these effects. Recent studies have shown that isometric exercises like the horse stance reduce blood pressure, increase stability, and improve the functional capacity of older adults. In just 4 weeks of regular practice, participants in one study saw average reductions of 4.9 points in systolic blood pressure and 2.6 points in diastolic pressure. That means less strain on the heart, lower risk of heart attack, and better health for the blood vessels. In other words, while you're strengthening your muscles and joints, you're also protecting your cardiovascular system. It's as if the horse stance were a kind of natural medicine, with no side effects, accessible to everyone. Caring for your joints with intelligence. If there's one common complaint among people over 50, it's joint pain. Creaky knees, stiff hips, fragile ankles. Many people give up on exercising because they're afraid of making these problems worse. But here's some good news. The horse stance not only doesn't harm your joints, it can actually strengthen them from the inside out. This happens because, by holding the position, you create a type of stimulus called isometric loading. Unlike impact exercises, like running or jumping, or repetitive movements, like going up and down on gym machines, isometric loading is gentle, steady, and controlled. It activates tendons, ligaments, and muscles at the same time, without excessive friction. With regular practice, this activation strengthens what we call the body's internal scaffolding, the structures that support your knees, hips, and ankles. The result is greater stability, less pain, and more confidence to move. Think of it like reinforcing the foundation of a house. It doesn't matter how nice the exterior looks. If the base is weak, everything falls apart. The horse stance strengthens that base exactly. Flexibility that frees. Another impressive point is the relationship between strength and flexibility. Many people think they need to choose between being strong or being flexible, but the truth is that both can go hand in hand. And the horse stance is a perfect example of that. When you lower into the position, with your feet apart and knees bent, the muscles around the hips and inner thighs are stretched while being strengthened at the same time. This combination is powerful because it increases your range of motion without sacrificing stability. Imagine being able to squat down to pick something up off the floor without lower back pain, or being able to tie your shoes without feeling like your hips are locked. That freedom of movement is not just a comfort, it's a key factor in maintaining autonomy as you age. And there's more. Looser hips reduce pressure on the spine, improve blood circulation, and can even promote better bowel function. This shows how a simple exercise can lead to systemic benefits, impacting the entire body. Upright posture, renewed presence. We live in a world that pulls us forward. Cell phones, computers, hours spent sitting in poorly designed chairs. The result? Slouched shoulders, a closed chest, and that well-known age hump. But the horse stance acts as a natural antidote to poor posture. By holding the position with your torso upright, you strengthen the stabilizing muscles of the spine and activate the abdominal and lower back regions. It's like training your body to remember what proper posture feels like. And it's not just about looks. Standing tall improves breathing, increases brain oxygenation, and conveys confidence. Think about how someone seems more self-assured when they're standing straight, aligned, and firm. That change can even influence your presence in social and professional interactions. Mental resilience, when the body teaches the mind. Holding the horse stance doesn't just challenge your muscles and joints. After a few seconds, when your legs begin to shake and your mind starts begging you to stop, that's when the real training begins. That moment teaches something profound: how to stay in discomfort without panicking. You breathe deeply, focus, manage anxiety, and discover that you're capable of more than you thought. That mental training carries over into real life. When a stressful situation arises, a family issue, financial worry, or a sleepless night, you've already trained your mind to withstand pressure without falling apart. That's the essence of resilience. It's not about avoiding hardship, but learning how to face it with calm and strength. Scientific studies confirm this. Research in martial arts, which use the horse stance as a foundation, show positive effects in reducing stress, improving self-esteem, and even lowering the risk of depression. Body and mind work together, and isometric practice is a powerful bridge between them. Breathing, the bridge between body and calm. One detail often forgotten but fundamental is breathing during the posture. When you breathe slowly and deeply, in sync with the physical effort, something special happens. Your nervous system comes into balance. This breathing pattern reduces cortisol production, the stress hormone, and increases the feeling of calm. That's why after the practice, many people report not only stronger muscles, but also a clearer mind, deeper sleep, and even a more stable mood. The horse stance is not just an exercise for the legs or hips. It's an integrated training that strengthens muscles, protects joints, increases flexibility, corrects posture, and trains the mind for resilience. One of the most silent signs of aging is the loss of balance. It doesn't happen overnight. It appears gradually in small, seemingly trivial situations. A stumble while stepping onto a curb, a loss of balance while bending to tie your shoes, or needing to lean on a wall when getting up quickly. These details, which we often ignore, are warnings that the body is losing its ability to orient itself in space. This is where the horse stance once again shows its power. By holding the position, you activate not only muscles but also the proprioception system, a kind of internal GPS that tells your brain where each part of your body is in relation to the environment. This system is crucial for preventing falls, correcting posture in unexpected situations, and reacting quickly to imbalance. Pelvic circulation, vitality from the inside out. Few people talk about it, but blood circulation in the pelvic region is one of the key health factors after age 50. Over time, blood flow in this area tends to decrease, affecting pelvic floor muscles, internal organs, and even sexual health. The horse stance, by deeply activating the hip, lower abdominal, and inner thigh muscles, stimulates increased circulation in this area. This effect is twofold: physical and functional. Physically, the tissues receive more oxygen and nutrients, which improves cellular recovery. Functionally, it translates into stronger muscles that support the bladder, uterus, and prostate, along with greater control and stability. Sexual health, a rarely mentioned benefit. One of the most surprising areas the horse stance can impact is sexual health. For men, improved pelvic circulation can aid in erectile function, as blood flow is essential for performance. Additionally, strengthening the muscles involved in pelvic control offers greater endurance and a sense of vitality. For women, the practice strengthens the pelvic floor muscles, improves vaginal tone, and reduces the risk of urinary incontinence. All factors that directly influence the quality of sexual life. And unlike more invasive or uncomfortable exercises, the horse stance works this area naturally, in an integrated way with the whole body. It's important to remember that sexuality after 50 isn't just about performance. It's about connection, self-esteem, and well-being. The physical vitality that comes from horse stance practice also reflects in this area of life, promoting confidence and pleasure at levels often forgotten with aging. Hormonal balance. After the age of 50, men and women go through hormonal changes that affect energy, mood, and even the will to live. In men, the gradual decline of testosterone can lead to fatigue, muscle loss, and low libido. In women, menopause brings hot flashes, mood swings, and bone fragility. Here comes another fascinating point. The horse stance can act as a natural hormone regulator. That's because isometric effort creates a kind of positive stress in the body, known as hormesis. This controlled stress stimulates the production of endorphins, the feel-good hormones, reduces cortisol levels, the stress hormone, and may even slightly increase testosterone circulation. The practical result is more energy, improved mood, deeper sleep, and an overall sense of vitality. It's like the body receives a daily reminder that it is still capable of responding, producing, and renewing itself. Energy and mental focus. Beyond the hormonal aspect, there is a direct effect on the mind. Holding the stance requires full concentration. You need to be present, paying attention to your breathing, body alignment, and tension control. This practice functions as a form of active meditation. While you hold the position, there's no room for outside worries. Your focus is on the here and now, the strength growing in your legs, and the calm that comes from deep breathing. This creates a state of mental clarity that is often lacking in the fast pace of daily life. Over time, this regular practice improves focus, reduces anxiety, and even helps with memory, as the brain benefits from increased oxygenation and lower stress levels. Lastly, we can't ignore one of the biggest risks for people over 60: falls. They don't just cause fractures. They can compromise independence and even shorten life expectancy. Have you noticed how often we complicate what could be simple? We spend hours searching for the perfect gym, buy expensive equipment, follow trendy workout fads that promise miraculous results, and in the end, we neglect what truly works. Consistency in basic but powerful practices. The horse stance is the opposite of that. It's simple, requires nothing but yourself, and precisely because of that, it's sustainable. And sustainability is what creates real change. And to show just how real this is, let me share the story of Marcos, a 62-year-old man who had been dealing with knee pain for years. He had tried weight training, a stationary bike, and even long walks, but always felt that the exercises ended up worsening his joints. One day, while reading about martial arts, he discovered the horse stance. At first, he could barely hold it for 20 seconds without trembling, but he decided to keep going. 3 months later, he could hold it for 2 minutes, and the most incredible part, he reported feeling stronger knees, stronger legs, and renewed confidence in everyday movements. Another inspiring example is Helena, 58 years old, who entered menopause and began experiencing low energy, trouble sleeping, and insecurity due to small urinary leaks. With guidance, she began incorporating the horse stance every morning right after waking up. Within a few weeks, she noticed that her breathing was deeper, she was sleeping better, and her hip and abdominal region felt firmer. What surprised her most was the significant improvement in her self-esteem. Small things like walking more upright and without fear of slipping transformed the way she saw her own body. Now, I want you to picture something. 5 years from now, how do you want to feel? Imagine yourself climbing stairs without pain, playing with your grandchildren without fear of falling, walking on a trip without having to stop every block. All of that is possible, but it depends on what you choose to do today. Each time you assume the horse stance, you're investing in that future. And it's not just about muscles or balance. It's about a message you send to yourself. I still have power. I can still grow. I can still gain more vitality. That mindset is what separates those who age with limitations from those who age with freedom. So don't see the horse stance as just another exercise. See it as a ritual of presence, of self-care, of strengthening. It doesn't matter if you start with 20 seconds and your whole body shakes. That's the starting point. And each additional second you conquer is a silent but powerful victory. And remember, it's not about perfection. It's not about competing with anyone. It's about personal evolution, step by step, day by day. Just like a river sculpts stone over time, consistent practice sculpts strength, stability, and serenity within you. One of those hidden benefits is the positive impact on cardiovascular health. I've already mentioned blood pressure reduction, but there's something even deeper. When you hold the stance, the contracted muscles act like a natural pump, helping push blood back to the heart. This improvement in circulation reduces the risk of leg swelling, enhances oxygenation throughout the body, and even helps prevent varicose veins. It's as if the exercise is both a workout and a natural drainage system. Another rarely discussed point is the influence on bone health. After 50, loss of bone density is one of the biggest concerns, especially for women after menopause. The simple act of holding your body weight in a semi-squat position creates stimuli that strengthen the bones, helping prevent osteoporosis. There's no need for excessive impact like running or jumping, which can harm the joints. The horse stance offers a gentler, yet equally effective alternative. Now, also think about respiratory health. By practicing the stance with slow, deep breathing, you expand lung capacity, improve blood oxygenation, and create a state of physiological calm. This controlled breathing can even reduce anxiety attacks, improve sleep quality, and support a more stable mental state throughout the day. It's as if every breath you take in the stance is a reminder that you can slow down the frantic pace of modern life. A few months from now, when you look in the mirror, you notice your posture is more upright, your legs are firmer, and your breathing is calmer. Simple daily actions like getting up from a chair or climbing stairs no longer feel like obstacles. Your energy has returned, your mind is calmer, and even your confidence in social interactions has increased. All of this because you chose to dedicate just 2 minutes a day to yourself. What the horse stance teaches us is that we don't need extremes to transform our lives. This simple, quiet, and often underestimated exercise can be the turning point between aging with limitations or aging with freedom. So the real question isn't whether the horse stance works, it works. The question is, will you give yourself the chance to try it? Will you allow your body and mind to discover the power of stillness, inner strength, and the vitality that still lives inside you? The next step is yours. Spread your feet, bend your knees, align your spine, take a deep breath, and hold. You're not just strengthening muscles, you're building the strongest, most stable, and most confident version of yourself. Now leave a like, subscribe to our channel, and share your comment.